Oh my goodness. Did you guys see the amount of people waiting for this tram? Oh my gosh. Hey everybody, it's Joy. Hello to returning friends and welcome if you are new. We are back in Mordalgo where I am using the concept of the 15-minute city to build a pedestrian utopia in Cities Skylines. Guys, we are finally here. We are doing the peninsula today. Let's get to it. Guys, look at this clean slate we have on this peninsula. I am so excited to dive in and get started. But I just want to give you a reminder. If you enjoy today's video, give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, and subscribe. All right, today I thought I would do something very different. We are actually going to detail this whole entire peninsula first. We're gonna lay down all of our services and then do our zoning at the very end. I thought instead of doing a detailing time lapse, today I would actually talk through why I'm making certain choices and why I'm doing things and how I'm detailing, and hopefully that will be helpful for you guys. You have to let me know if you like that or not, or if you prefer just me turning up the music and enjoying the detailing. Personally, that's what I like, but I realized that, you know, having some insight into why I do things might be helpful. Okay, so the majority of this peninsula that we are doing today is going to be car-free. We are doing all of the detailing and putting down all of our service buildings and amenities first, and then we are going to zone last. Usually I build in sections and you know, we'll zone as I'm detailing or zone even before detailing. But today I really wanted to lay out this entire peninsula before doing any zoning. So what I'm creating here is a place for people at the top of the community where they can park their cars, whether they're coming or going. It has a restroom, a cafe, the info booth, and this will just be a nice little hub at the top of our community where people can easily walk to the trams or take a bus. Okay, I'm going to do the same on the other side now. Okay, and there we go. We've got the beginning of our peninsula community. Okay, lately I've become obsessed with using these little bushes almost as hedges by just lining them up all together. I just think they look really nice. They make everything look clean and lush, and we're going to be using them a lot today. I like to always create patterns in my landscaping. It just makes a place feel like it's purposeful, like more put together. I love how that looks. Okay, so the thing I want to try to do today is all of the service buildings that we know we're going to need in this community. I want to give them all importance. I want to put a lot of detail into them and really give them all a sense of purpose and place within this little community that we are putting together today. So one thing you'll notice I'll do is sometimes I will use Surface Painter as a path in an instance like this, because if you notice, this building has the parking lot in the back, but no really clear way to get back there without kind of extending the pavement yourself. So that's something I like to do with buildings, is kind of pay attention to things like that and try to make them really feel incorporated if I can. Sometimes some of the buildings in City Skylines have parking where it absolutely makes no sense, especially a lot of the university buildings. But yeah, if you can look at a building and see how you can, you know, use Surface Painter or use a path to, or landscaping to just make it feel a bit more put together, that's always, in my book, it's a good idea. So I'm just using a lot of Surface Painter here. Again, the bushes just to line the area and just creating more entrances and exits for pedestrians and cars around our little police station. The other thing I really want to focus on today is making sure that each of our service buildings have a little place to grab a little bite to eat for the workers that are there. Additionally, alongside of our tram in the back, I want to make sure that we are creating some separation from the tram and the buildings, but also making sure we have connectivity, just making everything feel super cozy. I'm going for, you know, small town vibes out on this peninsula, even though it's going to be a high density community. I just want it to have that kind of cozy small town feel, and I feel like I can get that by using the fencing and paths and gazebos, just kind of to create little spaces like this on the back of a police station. All right, let's go over to the opposite side, and we are gonna work on bringing in our fire station. You guys notice a lot of times if I want a building in a certain area and I know it can kind of fit, I will use Move It and surface painter as needed to just really make the building feel like it fits or like it's supposed to be there. So this building takes up a lot of this square, so I'm not going to create an additional entrance just because on this building there is fencing all the way around. Where the police station, there is a little gap to fit a path, so it wouldn't make sense to put one here. I guess you could imagine that the gate in the back opens and closes. Maybe that's what is meant to be, but I am just going to do it this way. And then just add some foliage behind, just again, giving things purpose and just thinking about the details everywhere. Details are so important to me. That looks really cute. Okay, additionally, I want to make sure here again that I give our firemen a place to grab some lunch. So let's do that in this little corner here. And these little spaces are really easy to make. You know, just thinking about little places to eat lunch, I think is always important. I love those little food trucks. Then I'm just going to use some broken fence. I think this is something I've always seen Overcharge Egg do. He uses little pieces of broken fence as detailing, and I think that's so smart. I love that. I put in a ton of these paths, but I don't think I'm going to end up using most of them. But okay, let's move on to our medical clinic. This one is so cute. All right, and again, I'm just going to use landscaping, give this a sense of purpose. We'll add some parking, a place for everyone to have some lunch. Again, we'll utilize surface painter, lots of bushes. I think you guys get the drift here of what I'm doing. I just love, I guess some people would call it micro detailing. I just love paying this much attention versus, you know, sometimes it's easier and also appropriate just to throw down an asset because you need it, or maybe you're in an area where it doesn't make sense to do detailing like this. But I feel like if you take a little extra time to really give all of your service buildings a sense of importance, it just brings that much more to a build, and it just really makes it feel real as well, at least for the vibe that I'm going for here. In some areas you will just have buildings right next to each other, you know, no yard space. But in the 15-minute city concept, we're really making everything feel like part of the community, everything, as much open space as we can, as much usable space and green space, and just having that lovely community vibe. Oh, this is looking so good. Okay, I've pulled through our university zoning, and that way I can pull through some of the university buildings to use in our little town square center area. This building is going to be perfect to service as our little town hall. It's such a cute building. I used it earlier in the build as our boys and girls home earlier in the build, which I think worked really well, but I think it will also serve a purpose here. I really love using university buildings as other things. I just get a kick out of it. So this is something I'm not always so great with these things. I really try to play with paths a lot and fencing, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, but I usually get it the way that I like it. It just, I think there's probably easier ways to do things. So I just try to figure it out. Again, I love to use flower bushes or bushes to line paths like this. Again, just giving it a sense of importance. This is our town hall, a little bit more landscape, a little bit more fancy, bringing in the fountains. I'm also going to do this. So this is another trick if you have a long fence and you just don't want to delete the whole entire fence, you can just do what I did there. I do that quite a lot. It might take just as much time just to redo the fence. I don't know, but that's a little trick I do. I think that looks really cute. I like that. Okay, this took a lot of finagling to figure out. I really wanted to bring in this crematorium from the content creator pack and the Japanese garden. I knew I could get them to fit. I just had to figure out how, and I also knew I wanted them so the entrances weren't on the tram road. So this was an instance where I just really kind of played around with Move It till I figured out what was gonna work and look good. I wanted it to make sense and have it be like the Japanese garden was almost part of it, and like, so yeah, it was just about moving things around. And I feel like sometimes it's okay to take your time to do that, just to, again, instead of just plopping down a building, which there's nothing wrong with doing that, but just kind of using Move It and just figuring out how to make things, you know, work. So again, I just used paths here and a lot of landscaping and just really made this feel almost like one building or complex for honoring people who are no longer here. That turned out better than I can imagine. I love how that building came together. So cute. Okay, let's move on. Okay, again here it was important to fit in for me these two buildings. So we've got our post office fit into the corner, which I feel like most people can agree this building belongs in a corner whenever you can put it there. Post office is such a cute building. And then I've got the maintenance building from the university, because this is a it can be used as pretty much, it'll be like our park maintenance building is how I'm seeing it. So we're going to tuck that here next to our post office. This one was a little simpler. I'm just bringing in more greenery, and then we've plopped in a little playground, and I just think that turned out so cute. I think this is looking really nice. Let's take a little first person view, a little ride around before we continue on with the build. One thing I haven't been doing lately that I need to think about more is setting what type of vehicle I want for the area I'm building in. This is such a fun thing we get with the vehicle content creator pack. I think it's really fun to mess with those a little bit. All right, you guys may have noticed there's a slight color difference here. My game looks a little different. I want to give a big shout out to Ak, who took his time out of his day to help me install a few different mods. I don't use a lot of mods, but one or two of the ones I was using were outdated, and my game is actually running so much better now. So thank you, Act, for helping me improve my performance. Okay, let's jump into a detailing time lapse and knock out some educational buildings out on our peninsula here. Okay, we're moving back to the top part of our town again, pulling through a little industrial road here. We're bringing in some recycle centers. I brought in this little bus depot. Our other bus depot is so far away, and I put in a little bus route with a few little double-decker buses. I just think they're gonna look really cute in this area when we get all finished. Now I'm just gonna use some fencing and foliage just to make this area feel really lush and to kind of hide these industrial type uses. Okay, so I want to create 2 park spaces within our peninsula area. We've got all of our service buildings, we've got education, but I want to create some dedicated park space. I've pulled through our university zoning so that I can use these cute little fountains, and I just think this is going to make such a cute little, wow, look at all those people getting off the tram. That's awesome. So again, using my tricks here, surface painter, bushes, just really making these spaces feel defined and purposeful. And I really love how these two little parks come out. I do them identical. I just love the symmetry that's starting to come together in this area. I just think this turned out so cute. And I've left lots of green space. Haven't used fences around this park here. I just want it to be open space for everybody. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, I think we're ready to get all this zoning in. I've gone ahead and paused the game, and I've set this to, this is all going to be high density, and I've set this to European buildings. I feel like this is going to be a nice look in this peninsula and kind of give it that old town feel I'm going for. And again, as a reminder, I've banned cars on almost all of these roads, and the majority of this will be residential. And I almost thought I was ready to hit play, but then I realized I didn't have a senior center or a child health care center. So again, I'm going to use the same things I've used all throughout this video. Just get these feeling like places of importance and a little bit of detail, and then we should be ready to go. This is where I'm creating the commercial corridor, and I'm just using fencing to force zoning where I want it and create a barrier in between our residential zone and just kind of create a bit of a Main Street vibe down the center of our peninsula here. Okay, one last building I wanted to add in. Again, it's a university building. I'm using this as a tiny community center, so I figure this is the right building for this. It looks like it could be an activity center, so even though it's the IT club, I think it's perfect, especially for this little small town vibe that we're going for here. Detailing is done, public transport is in place, cars are banned on the appropriate roads. We've got all of our service and community buildings, and now we just get to watch everyone come in and live in this wonderful community. All right, let's check on, oh, everything is filling out so nicely. This is making me so happy. Ugh. I really enjoyed doing all of this detail work first, laying down all of the buildings that we would need, and then just watching this community grow. This is fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let's get down and check out some first-person action while the rest of this zoning fills in. Oh my goodness. Did you guys see the amount of people waiting for this tram? Oh my gosh. Well, let's add a few more trams. It's most likely people just moving in, so this will sort itself out eventually. Oh my gosh, look at all the people waiting. Oh my. All right, let's enjoy this tram ride, and hopefully once we come back around, our zoning will have filled in. Okay, looks like this is starting to finally clear out and normalize a bit. I think a lot of that was just people moving into the town, so things look much more reasonable now. I love seeing all this activity. I could watch pedestrian and public transit and all day long. I don't know about you guys. Okay, let's do a little bit more first person. We're waiting for a little bit more zoning to come in, so let's just zip around town and enjoy this a little bit, and then we will wrap things up. Okay, let's check on, look at all of our zoning is filled in. This looks so great. I love how this turned out. I just think taking a little time to do detailing in your neighborhoods, just give them their own unique feel, and I could not be happier with how this little peninsula turned out. Okay, well, our peninsula isn't done yet. I'm gonna put up a poll on my channel and you guys can vote on what you think we should do with this area. I'm so excited to see what you guys vote for, or see what ideas that additionally that you guys might have. I'm so excited. So we are gonna do that for our next episode. I hope you all have a joyful day, and I'll catch you next time.